Hey there. Hey, everybody. So it is time for another Well Weekly. It's been a little bit since I have done one of these, but I'm super excited to share today about a new prayer technique, a new spiritual discipline technique that I have been exposed to and that I've started in my life. It's making a big difference, and it's called fixed hour prayer. Now, I know that when someone says prayer and hour, if you're like me, the first response is, "Ooh, I don't have an hour. I don't know how to pray for an hour," etc. And I don't know about you, but my prayer life is an area where I want to grow. I'm not I'm not where I want to be yet. And so I get it if prayer can be intimidating and sometimes feel overwhelming or like a to do, but how do we make it actually happen in our life? I get all of that. So I've got a really simple solution that has really helped me that I want to share with you. So I was listening to a podcast. It's called the Podcast, Bema, and it takes a look at scripture in a really unique way. And in one of the episodes, he was talking about spiritual disciplines, and he mentioned the fixed hour prayer. And I had that first reaction of, "Oh, what is that going to be?" But it's actually super cool. So what you do is you fix certain times throughout the day when you are going to set an alarm on your phone or something, and you're going to pause at those fixed moments and pray for a few seconds. So, for example, I set my alarm on my phone for, you can see 9, 12, 3, 6, and 9. Okay, so I set it on my phone and I labeled it. Each one of them I labeled with a scripture verse. The one I chose to focus on right now is "Be still and know that I am God." So every day at 9 a.m., noon, 3 p.m., 6 p.m., and 9 p.m., this goes off and I get this reminder, oh, stop and pray right now. And it's a challenge because sometimes I'm in the middle of something, but when I was speaking, it went off. When I've been at church, when I've been driving, doing laundry, doing dishes, talking with someone, it goes off. And I'm like, oh, excuse me, just for a second. And I take a few moments to pray. So that it is a commitment that whatever you're doing, you're going to pause, if you can, for a couple of seconds at least and pray. Whatever the times need to be for you throughout the day, this time frame is working for me, but choose what works for you. There are two big benefits that I have noticed since implementing this spiritual discipline into my life. One is when that alarm goes off, it takes me out of the constant do mode or busy mode. Because as I thought that I prayed a lot throughout the day. I don't really think that I did because this will go off when I'm in the middle of something. I'm like, oh, whew, that's right. Pause, stop, breathe for a second, get grounded, and pray. So if I'm busy, if I'm focused on something else, it kind of jerks me out of that and reminds me, oh, hey, God, we need to talk, don't we? I think about it, my relationship with David. We talk multiple times throughout the day. We're texting, we're calling, we're sending emojis, we're talking around the supper table. We have conversation throughout the day. Yet a lot of days go by where I don't have that communication with God like I need to. So this is a reminder to develop that practice, and it gets me out of do mode and into prayer mode, at least for a few seconds throughout the day. It's also increasing my prayer life. So at that moment, whenever it goes off, I pray about whatever's on my mind. If I've just been kind of irritated about something that just happened, it's like, oh, that's a reminder. I can talk to God about this. Or sometimes it goes off and I just worship or I express my gratitude to Him or my love for Him. I find myself praying for my kids and what they're going through in the day, and whatever's on my mind at that moment, that's what I get to pray about. And I love it. It's increasing my prayer life. I get to the end of the day and I think, I've talked with God several times today. And I find because I'm developing that discipline at all those intervals, I'm finding myself praying more at other intervals, which is the goal, right? We're supposed to pray without ceasing. So it's increasing my prayer life and it's taking me out of constant do mode. It's increased my peace. It has decreased my stress and it's increased my intimacy with the Lord. So I thought I had to share it with you. And I hope that that's helpful. I hope it inspires you to set some alarms on your phone, add a scripture verse to the label of it. And even if it's once or twice a day, that's a time when you are committing to take a few seconds to pause whatever's happening in life and just spend a couple moments with Jesus. Getting our spiritual wellness in check is part of the rest of our emotional and physical wellness. It all goes together. Okay, let me know what you think. Is this something you've ever heard of before? Would love to know if you're going to try it. Let's be well, friends.